WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Howdy everybody, I'm JR, and this is West Virginia Uncommon Place. Today, finally, she has come back from assignment. All these months and times that she's been away, she finally returned in 2024, which I think she was on an episode earlier this year on West Virginia Uncommon Place. Probably not, but she's finally back from assignment. Guess who's here?
Hey everybody, it's Stacey.
She's finally back on the show.
I mean, I guess it feels like forever because you do batch record a lot.
Yeah.
So it's easier. Well, I mean, it is easier. Trust me, that process is. But it seems like forever since we sit and have conversations for your show.
Right. Because it's like, I will say this, the amazing thing is, and a lot of people don't know this, but it's something I have to actually admit. Sparrows in Review is a great show. And with it being a great show, we put time into doing that one. And like you said, I'm like Tupac. I'm in the studio and I'm doing our makeshift studio.
Well, I mean, the idea of that one is something that we had to do together.
Right.
You know, you're just like, you had your interviews, but it is hard to do two people interviewing another person, especially when I have such a specific work schedule.
Yes.
I cannot work around your schedule and the person that you're doing the interview with. So it just makes sense for that to be your thing. And me just come on every now and then.
And it's worked out pretty good. And it's kind of like, I know people always wonder what I really do for a job. Because they're like, how do you always have free time? How are you always able to make these videos and all this stuff? My job revolves around a cell phone.
Right.
And I just make video whenever I got time. But anyway, one other thing that I want to throw in here real quick is West Virginia Uncommon Place. I want to tell every one of our TikTok family, thank you for pushing the 10-minute TikTok specials that we have been putting out. In the near future, it will actually have its own name. I haven't gone into detail on that because it was really beta, just seeing if it would take off. And what we found is if we get those videos under 10 minutes, but more than 5 minutes, we haven't got the golden area yet, but we're getting there. So I want to thank everybody over on TikTok. I want to thank everybody on Instagram, everybody over at Tumblr, and the people over on that other place.
What are they calling it today?
Is it X, Y, Z, whatever you want to call it? We know it as Twitter. And the legions of people that listen to our shows, wherever they listen to them. Something freaky just happened. The computer just got a mind of its own and cut on. So we are here to talk about the world's premier in-person podcasting event that's returning for its 10th anniversary. And it is the Pod Fest Multi-Media Expo. This is the brainchild of Chris. Please don't let me chop up your last name.
We'll just say Chris.
Chris. And a slew of other podcasters and podcast industry people that wanted to help the podcaster that is in the middle, the hobbyist, and the people that are making a little change but not a lot of change, and the people that are making change to help the people that are all underneath them. And when I say underneath them, I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying it's a learning tree. You learn, you incorporate things, you see what works, you see what doesn't work for you, and you go from there. The amazing thing with this is, and I don't know how Stacey felt about it last year, we went down, it was a crazy experience. We went down to Florida in January. And going down in January, I didn't know it was going to be hot.
It was your first time there in a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, in like 15 years. Because Florida's a place.
You told me, I'm not going to Florida. I'm never going to Florida again.
Right, because me and Florida don't have a good time. And I had an amazing time with you. We enjoyed the Podfest. And then one thing in between us that's really special, the WWE Royal Rumble.
Yes. I'm so excited.
I'm excited about that.
I know there's other things to be excited for, but I think that is what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, and I'm excited about SeaWorld.
See, now this is a question for anybody out there that knows. I want to be able to DoorDash the barbecue. I don't want to have to pay an admission ticket. So if y'all know if that's possible, please send him a message.
Definitely hit me up over at wvuncommonplace@gmail.com, or you can hit me on the Wire app, which is our secure messaging network provider for our show, West Virginia Uncommonplace. Now, we went to Florida last year. It was a mixed review because when we go, we've been doing a lot. We were babies in everything we were doing last year. So you experience good, bad, and ugly.
Right. Initially, it was very overwhelming.
Yes.
We weren't prepared to, honestly.
And now that I've gotten my feet a little bit deeper into the ground and we were able to launch another podcast right afterwards, probably 4 months after we got the seeds ready, and we talked about it when we were there, and then by May we were starting another show. Oh shit, I hit my hand on a pan. Oh my God. I don't know why that just freaked me out. It went doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But anyway, so the Hoova app that we had, what do you see?
Nothing. Keep talking.
The Hoova app, to me, was the greatest part of doing Podfest initially, because I was able to make contacts with people. I've met so many different people through that even when you're at this event, like Stacey said, it's very overwhelming, and it's not that it's fast-paced or anything like that, but you have to pick and choose how you're going to do your tracks. And the tracks, to explain it to anyone that hasn't been, they're educational tracks, meditation tracks, and influence.
Like they're different avenues to hear people talk about. That's what a track is. It's kind of like a class or an event catered to a specific title.
Right. So, you have to pick and figure out where you want to go. There's keynotes, there's different things. Heck, they even do a breakfast every morning, but who wakes up that early?
A lot of people.
A lot of people do. I'm good to get there by 8 o'clock, to be honest. Now, the amazing thing for me when we went, we got to meet the homeboy from American Idol. Because I got a picture with him.
You did?
I can't think of his name. And I got to meet one of the greatest people inside podcasting, and this is not a name drop that I normally would do, but Alex Sanfilippo. Alex Sanfilippo is one person that I want to take time with his pod match, podcast SOP, pod lottery. He has everything. He has an amazing ecosystem that if you are a medium tier podcaster, as I've dubbed people, or podcasters that are just starting out, going through his system, learning the established podcaster test that you can take, it can help you in ways that I wish I had it when I first started.
Right.
So big shout out to him there. Katie Brinkley with the social media stuff, and then there's an array of tech people out there. So many people that I can't name everybody, so we won't name anyone. But here's my take real quick. When you go in at the first night, and you go to get them passes, that, I don't have anxiety, but that is where it gets super anxious for me. Because I went in one line. I ended up going through 3 different lines to get...
Because I sent you in last year by yourself.
Yeah, so, and then I'm seeing people, and people are, knowing who I am, and I don't know who half these people, I'm being honest, back then. And I'm like, hi, how are you? And they know me as JR, and in my professional life, I am Wilbert Sparrow. That's my legal name. So when you say JR, you're familiar to me, or JR or RJ, that's someone that knows me. So that took me for a loop. I'm like, how do people actually know me? Because sometimes in podcasting, well, not sometimes, all the time in podcasting, there's this weird unknown thing that you don't know who's really supporting you and what's going on or who's behind you, because people like me, and not Stacey, but people like me look at numbers and look at this and that, and I'm like, hey, these people are following me here and there. But some random lady from a podcast with 2 chicks in some movie thing knew who I was. And she talked to me. And then going through all the educational stuff, the most amazing part that we had was when we went to the social event. Wouldn't you say? Where we did the little thing with a lady from Asha.
I was just kind of there along for the ride last year, because I'm not one that's going to come up to someone and just start a conversation. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to absorb everything that's going on around me. I'm going to absorb all of the information. And it's like we were in there doing and listening to something, and she just came up and started talking to us.
Right.
And that was after the expo hall was open, because I think we had met her in there.
Yes.
And we had talked a few seconds, and then she sat by us.
And what was gravitating was she had on an astronaut suit.
Right. Because that was the theme of their thing.
I heard a loud...
That would be my father coming in.
Oh, wow.
He's pounding the ground because he's getting the snow off of his feet.
Yeah, it's like doom, doom, doom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, like, how to wrap this up, or, you know, I didn't want this to be something very long.
Right, and so let's go with a schedule of events, I guess. So we're actually going down on Tuesday.
Yes.
The initial, like, registration and some early meet and greet type things, like unofficial things, are happening on Wednesday. So we technically have a free day on Tuesday evening. Actually, I don't even know. I think we don't get there till 10 o'clock. So we have most of the day on Wednesday to do whatever we want to do out and about. Of course, we got Thursday and Friday that we're 100% going to be spending at the Podfest convention or expo. I got Comic-Cons on my mind. Saturday is when everything wraps up. So Saturday and Sunday are also Royal Rumble. So we have to make the decision to...
how much time we're going to split between the places.
Yeah.
So we definitely will be making appearances, but definitely if you want to get in touch with us as a podcast and be part of what we're going to be doing there, which that's one thing I do want to announce, we are going to be doing a speed podcast interview. I'm the interviewee because Stacey is our behind the scenes AV person because she works all the stuff, and we will have 2 wireless lavalier mics hooked to an iPad, which will have her stationary hold up for us with our nice little podcast case if it gets here in time. And I will interview you. So if you would like to come for that. And then also we have an amazing podcaster, Julio Martinez, from the great, and I'm talking about the amazing Frankly Francisco podcast, that will be in accordance with us with different things. So you will catch me and him in different live things. You will see us across TikTok, across Instagram, and the wrap-up show and the recap will definitely be between myself and then Stacey's amazing podcast, Sparrows Under Review. So you will get to hear what our takes are, and you will hear...
I think we're going to keep it centralized around here. I think over on Sparrows Under Review is just more of an experience and letting you know how the whole experience went. Like the whole vacation part and the doing other stuff besides the podcasting, because I feel like that's appropriate over there. I feel like this here should be centered around the Podfest Expo, if that's all right with you.
And I definitely agree with that. She's the brains behind everything. Don't be fooled.
Well, that way, because, you know, I hate to be like someone that constantly listens to this show on WV Uncommonplace. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, well, we're done talking about this, but you have to go over to Sparrows Under Review to hear the rest of it. I hate podcasts that do that crap. And that just gets on my nerves. So I'm just trying to think about other people out there. I would also like to throw out, because I think you're going to get this out there in enough time, anybody that has any stickers or QR codes, business cards, anything like that, if you want to send JR a message, he will be more than happy to give you the address of the hotel we're staying at, and you can ship any of your merchandise. I know one of the good things that we did last year was we did take a business card, and a lot of people were putting like their stickers. We had some postcards that we took down for the Common Mystics, and we put them on the table, and people were grabbing this stuff.
Yes.
And especially if it's something like a sticker you can slap onto your car or your notebook or something, people grab that stuff because they can use it. Pencils, you know, even if you want to go a little bit further, t-shirts, hats, koozies, stuff like that. So just send it to Instagram is the best place, or email.
Yeah, Instagram, and then you can also see the video that I left. If anybody's already sent anything in the mail, I will definitely be going to Vienna to check the mailbox. I have not gone to check it in like 3 weeks.
Right.
But I did put a video out, and people were already in acknowledgement that you can send anything over to the West Virginia Commonplace P.O. Box.
Yep.
So we'll be in town tomorrow, so I definitely will check that out.
Right.
So
I know some people might be pushed for time, or maybe they're hearing this late or whatever, and they're like, oh crap, I didn't think of that. So, you know, it's a little pricey, but it's not that bad to overnight ship, FedEx or UPS something down to Florida.
And if money's strapped tight and you send me a QR code, I may not be able to put it on a sticker, but I can print it on a piece of paper and I'll cut it out for you.
Staples.
Yeah, Staples.
We'll give you the location closest to Staples, or the Staples location to wherever we're going to be closest to, and you can print and we'll pick up.
So, like always, I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
And this is West Virginia Uncommonplace. So, my simple thing is I just say we're signing off. So, we're going to sign off.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.